Welcome, high-value men. Let me take you back to a moment that happened years ago. I was at a quiet cafe, sipping coffee and minding my own business. Across the room, a woman caught my eye, not because she was overly dressed or making a scene, but because of something much more subtle. She was talking to her friend, but every now and then, her gaze would shift in my direction. It wasn't a long, lingering look, just a fleeting glance, enough to make me wonder if it meant anything. As I continued with my coffee, I noticed something else. She tucked her hair behind her ear and adjusted her posture slightly, almost instinctively. Then, when her friend got up to leave for a moment, she bit her lip, just a quick, subtle action. Was it nerves? Interest? I didn't know, but something about her body language intrigued me. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was a deeper meaning behind these small gestures. Looking back, I realized how much her body was saying without a single word. At the time, I didn't understand the significance of these cues. I brushed them off, assuming they were meaningless, and went about my day. But the truth is, I missed an opportunity, not just to connect with her, but to understand the silent language of attraction. That day taught me a lesson. Women communicate in ways that are nuanced, subtle, and deeply fascinating. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss the signs. In today's video, we'll explore 5 hidden body language signals women use to express attraction. These are the clues that reveal what words cannot, and by the end, you'll know how to read them like a pro. Let's dive in. Signal 1. Lip biting, a silent expression of desire. Have you ever noticed a woman biting her lip during a conversation? It might seem like a random habit or even a moment of nervousness, but the truth is far more intriguing. Lip biting is one of the most subtle yet powerful nonverbal signals a woman can send, and it often carries layers of meaning that words fail to express. Imagine this scenario. You're sitting across from her, enjoying an engaging conversation. Suddenly, she bites her lower lip, just for a second, and then quickly releases it. Her eyes flicker to yours, and there's a brief moment of tension in the air. It's not accidental. That small gesture might be her body's way of communicating something deeper, perhaps excitement, nervous anticipation, or even attraction. From a psychological perspective, lip biting is closely tied to arousal and emotional intensity. Studies on body language reveal that this behavior draws attention to one of the most sensual parts of the body, the lips. Rich with nerve endings, the lips are not just sensitive to touch, they're also highly expressive. When a woman bites or licks her lips, it can be a subconscious attempt to capture your attention, signaling interest without uttering a single word. But there's more to it. Lip biting is also rooted in vulnerability. It's a quiet, almost instinctive admission of desire, often accompanied by a sense of hesitation. She might not even realize she's doing it, but her body is speaking for her. In that moment, she's allowing her inner conflict between curiosity and caution to surface in a way that feels intimate and unguarded. Here's how to respond if you notice this signal. Don't call attention to it directly. Instead, maintain steady eye contact and acknowledge her gesture subtly by leaning in slightly or mirroring her energy. This creates a sense of connection and shows her that you're attuned to her cues. But remember, respect is key. Misinterpreting or overreacting to such signals can break the flow of attraction. Lip biting is more than just a physical act. It's an emotional expression. It's her way of inviting you to notice her, to see beyond her words, and to connect on a deeper level. So the next time you see a woman biting her lip, don't dismiss it as insignificant. It might just be the beginning of a story waiting to unfold. Signal 2. Lingering touch, a quiet invitation for closeness. Picture this. You're sharing a lighthearted moment, and as she laughs, her hand briefly brushes against yours. It's not an accidental touch. It lingers just a second too long to be casual. There's warmth in the contact, a deliberate softness that suggests something deeper. While words may stay light and playful, her touch carries an unspoken message. I feel comfortable with you. I want to be closer. Touch is one of the most primal forms of human connection. Long before we learned to speak, we communicated through gestures and physical closeness. When a woman feels drawn to you, she might find subtle reasons to initiate contact. A light tap on your arm, resting her hand on your shoulder, or even letting her fingers graze yours as you both reach for the same object. These moments might seem insignificant on the surface, but they're often her way of bridging the emotional distance between you. From a psychological standpoint, a lingering touch signals trust and openness. It's her body's way of testing the waters, gauging your reaction to see if the connection feels mutual. Think of it as her saying, "Are you paying attention to me? Do you notice what I'm trying to share without words?" Now, how should you respond when this happens? The key is to match her energy without being overly eager. If she rests her hand on your arm, you can acknowledge it with a soft smile or a brief touch in return. The goal is to make her feel seen and appreciated without rushing the moment. Pay attention to her body language. Does she lean in when you mirror her touch? If so, she's signaling her interest more clearly. But there's a delicate balance here. Overinterpreting or making a big deal out of her gesture can disrupt the subtlety of the interaction. Lingering touches are meant to feel natural and instinctive, not forced or overly analyzed. The beauty of this signal lies in its simplicity. It's a quiet invitation, a subtle way of saying, "I enjoy being near you." So the next time you feel the warmth of her touch, don't brush it off as mere coincidence. Recognize it for what it is, a step toward deeper connection and understanding. Signal 3, eye contact, the window to her desire. Have you ever locked eyes with someone, and for a brief moment, it felt like time stood still? Now imagine this happening with her. You're mid-conversation, and her gaze lingers just a little longer than usual. It's not a casual glance, it's intentional, almost magnetic. In that moment, her eyes are saying more than words ever could. Eye contact is one of the most powerful and intimate forms of communication. When a woman is drawn to you, her eyes might soften, her pupils may dilate, or her gaze might flicker to your lips and back to your eyes. These subtle shifts are not random. They're her body's way of expressing curiosity and attraction. But what makes this signal so captivating is its emotional depth. Prolonged eye contact creates a connection that transcends the physical. It's a meeting of two souls, unguarded and vulnerable. Even if she doesn't say a word, her lingering gaze speaks volumes. She might be silently asking, "Do you see me? Do you feel this connection too?" Let me ask you, have you ever experienced this kind of lingering eye contact where you felt like she was speaking to you without uttering a word? If you have, comment 1 below. If not, comment 0, and let's see how common this experience truly is among high-value men like you. Now, how do you respond to this unspoken dialogue? The key is confidence. Hold her gaze, but don't stare. A soft smile or a slight nod can acknowledge the connection without overwhelming it. This balance between attentiveness and composure shows her that you're not just noticing her signals, you're confident enough to engage with them. Eye contact is more than just a sign of attraction. It's an invitation to connect on a deeper level, to step into a space where words aren't needed. The next time you catch her gaze lingering on you, don't look away too quickly. Instead, embrace the moment and see where it takes you. Signal 4, swaying hips, the unspoken dance of attraction. Imagine this, you're walking beside her, and without realizing it, you notice the way her hips move. It's not exaggerated or forced, just a natural rhythmic sway that seems to carry an effortless confidence. In that moment, you can't help but wonder if it's intentional or purely instinctive. The sway of a woman's hips is one of the most ancient and primal signals of attraction. From an evolutionary perspective, this movement is deeply tied to subconscious mating signals. When a woman is attracted to someone, her body may naturally amplify certain movements, and her walk becomes more deliberate, almost like an unspoken dance inviting your attention. This subtle gesture often goes unnoticed, but if you pay close attention, you'll see the elegance and allure it conveys. Her steps might become slower, her posture more upright, and the motion of her hips more fluid. It's her body's way of saying, "I feel confident and comfortable around you." Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed the subtle shift in a woman's movements when she's around you? Maybe her walk seemed to change, or there was a newfound grace in her stride. If your answer is yes, let me know in the comments. If it's no, that's okay too. This video will help you recognize these moments in the future. How should you respond to this signal? The best approach is to remain composed and attentive. Don't draw attention to her movements, but instead match her confidence with your own. Complement her energy in a way that feels genuine and subtle, something like, "You carry yourself with such grace." The beauty of this signal lies in its combination of confidence and vulnerability. Her swaying hips are not just a physical movement. They're a reflection of her emotions, her desire to connect, and her readiness to be noticed. So the next time you're walking with her and notice this unspoken dance, take it as a quiet invitation to appreciate the connection forming between you. Signal 5. Dilated pupils, the uncontrollable signal of attraction. There's something captivating about catching her gaze and noticing that her eyes seem different. They're wider, her pupils slightly dilated, as though they're soaking in every detail of you. It's subtle, almost imperceptible, but once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Pupil dilation is one of the few signals completely beyond her control. When she's genuinely attracted to you, her brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter often associated with pleasure and excitement. This chemical reaction causes her pupils to expand, signaling that something about your presence excites her. This reaction is a biological truth, not a conscious decision. It's her body's way of saying, "You've captured my attention." What makes it even more intriguing is how fleeting it can be. You might only catch it in moments of heightened emotion, during an intense conversation, a shared laugh, or even a comfortable silence. Imagine you're sitting across from her, sharing a story. As you glance into her eyes, you notice the dilation. Her gaze softens, her expression relaxes, and there's an unspoken connection in the air. It's a raw, honest moment where her body is revealing feelings that words might not. How do you handle this? The key is to stay present and engaged. Hold her gaze without being overly intense and let the connection unfold naturally. A confident yet calm demeanor will reassure her that she's safe sharing this unspoken bond with you. The beauty of dilated pupils as a signal is that it's purely instinctive, an unfiltered glimpse into her feelings. It's not something she plans or even realizes she's showing. That's what makes it so powerful. A quiet, undeniable truth about her attraction to you. So the next time you catch her pupils dilating as she looks at you, appreciate the moment. It's not just a signal, it's a testament to the natural chemistry that's building between you. Now that we've explored these 5 hidden signals of attraction, lip biting, lingering touches, eye contact, swaying hips, and dilated pupils, what stands out the most is how much is communicated without a single word. Women's body language is subtle, yet deeply revealing, offering a window into their emotions and desires for those who know how to pay attention. The beauty of these signals lies in their honesty. They're not rehearsed or calculated. They're instinctive expressions of connection, trust, and curiosity. As a high-value man, your role isn't just to notice these signs, but to respond with respect, confidence, and understanding. These moments are about building a bond, not rushing into something superficial. Take what you've learned today and bring it into your interactions. Whether it's recognizing the quiet invitation of a lingering gaze or appreciating the unspoken dance of her movements, these small moments can deepen your connection and create something truly meaningful. Remember, the key isn't just to notice, it's to appreciate and respond with class. Attraction is as much about emotional depth as it is about physical cues. And when you approach it with the right mindset, you'll stand out as someone truly exceptional. Thank you for joining me today, high-value men. If this video resonated with you, make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss future insights into relationships, psychology, and connection. Until next time, stay confident, stay curious, and keep building meaningful connections.